2017, filled with luxuries such as a cell phone, cars, and computers.
Back in the 19th century, these luxuries started as a simple idea, leading to a minor advancement soon to make a major impact on society.
So join us as we go over these advancements and explain how they came to be, such as the stethoscope,
The telephone, the bicycle,
The cylinder lock, and the washing machine.
René Laennec created the stethoscope in 1816 while working at Hôpital Necker that resided in the heart of Paris. He was performing a heart examination on a hefty woman, and due to her robust nature, age, and sex, René hunted for a new method to quell his anxiety. The solution: roll a piece of paper up and place it to her chest. Really that simple. He gained this inspiration from young children at the hospital who would scratch a coin on a hollow stick to amplify the sound. With a successful first trial, he made new tools to improve versatility. A 25 centimeter by 2.5 centimeter hollow wooden cylinder with 3 detachable pieces, one with a funnel drilled into the side so that it could be removed and amplify the sound to the rest of the hollow cylinder, thus making the stethoscope. His new innovation led him to discover new diseases and led him to become head of medicine at Hôpital de la Charité and a professor at the Collège de France. While the innovation gained popularity in France, England, Italy, and Germany, Americans were a little slow on the uptake. 25 years after René's death, the stethoscope got an upgrade to what it is today, thanks in part to Arthur Lear and George Kaman for their double earpiece innovations.
Babe, I got two. One for the plug and one for the load. I got two. One for the beat and one for the nose. I got these two more. Black poppin' on ring, ring, ring. Got money while they ring, ring, ring.
Alexander Graham Bell was awarded the first U.S. patent for the invention of the telephone in 1876. Elisha Gray, 1876, designed a telephone using a water microphone in Highland Park, Illinois. In 1877, the Bell Telephone Company founded 3,000 privately owned telephones, and it was active by the year's end in 1877. In 1878, the first manual switchboard telephone were distributed in Boston. In 1881, the first long-distance telephone from New York to California was invented. In 1946, 250,000 women were employed to be switchboard operators for public service and businesses. And also in 1946, the first mobile car-based telephone was introduced. It was 80 pounds and marketed for traveling businesswomen and men. In 1973, the first non-car mobile phone was introduced, called the Dynatac. In 1989, the first flip phone was introduced. 1996, the first voice-over internet-produced phone system was introduced, called Voltec. In 2000, cellular data was introduced, where people could access internet off their phones without a home landline. This phone, the rotary phone, was introduced in the pre-1940s. This is a wooden box with bells on the top to signal when somebody was calling. This part is where you grab to hear from, and this is the speaker where you're talking to the other person. To dial someone's number, you have to use this in a circular rotation in order to use it. In 2007, the iPhone was released by Steve Jobs, the creator. In 2017, flash forward 10 years later, 223 million people have the iPhone. Thanks to Alexander Graham Bell creating the telephone, we now have a source of communication without using transportation, whether it be the rotary phone, the iPhone, a flip phone, or a Samsung.
The history of who invented the bicycle first is one of much controversy. While the first human-powered device, which consisted of 4 wheels, was made in 1418 by Italian engineer Giovanni Fontana. However, the first patent in the U.S. for a bicycle, which looks similar to the ones we see today, was made by a French carriage maker named Pierre Lamont. This version of the bicycle had 2 wheels made of steel, a wooden frame, pedals, and a fixed gear system. The bicycle still continued to evolve, though, as the materials of Pierre's version made for a shaky and uncomfortable ride, earning it the nickname the Bone Shaker. To fix this problem, bicycle manufacturers found out they could make a smoother ride by changing the materials used. The wooden frame was switched to a metal one, and the metal tires became made of solid rubber and had larger spokes. Another change was that the wheels were made larger. While this did not affect the smoothness of the ride, it allowed cyclists to travel further with one rotation of the pedals. This design became very popular for a while. However, the larger wheels caused for some safety issues, so another innovator set out to make a safer bicycle. Kem Starley was his name, and he came up with his bicycle in 1871 in Britain. Starley continued innovating and in 1865 introduced the Rover, one of the first extremely practical versions of the bicycle. The bicycle's impact on society was major because of it, women's fashion changed, roads improved, and transportation itself was revolutionized. The height of the bicycle ended, though, as a new form of transportation came out, the automobile. Today, bicycles are still popular as a form of leisure. There are so many models made specifically for all sorts of terrain and usage. So whether you are an avid cyclist or just taking a ride around the neighborhood, it is safe to say that bicycles are here to stay.
The cylinder lock was invented in 1861 by Linus Yale Jr., and the original design has always been called the Yale cylinder lock. Yale Jr. improved onto his father's design, the tumbler lock, which Yale Sr. invented in 1850. The Yale cylinder lock is still used today as the main lock used in household doorknobs and door bolts. Even though it has been improved over the last 100 years or so, it is still the same basic concept that Yale Jr. patented in 1861. Nowadays, it can range from being a standard key locking system to being completely electronic and having a pin code system. When Yale Jr. first invented the cylinder lock in 1861, it was a big improvement in safety for oneself and as for one's belongings in their house or their sheds and barns. This could be very important for anyone who lived in bigger cities or even just the suburbs, because this could decrease your chances of anyone being able to break into your house, thus also most likely decreasing crime activities in neighborhoods where people could afford the locks for their houses.
The 19th century was a huge turning point for washing machines. Before this time, people were forced to use scrub boards and rivers to wash their clothes. There were many different types of washing machines invented during the 19th century. The first one invented was by James King in 1851, and he patented the first washing machine with a drum. This was the first washing machine invented since the scrub board. Even though this machine was still hand-powered, it improved the way that many people were able to wash their clothes. This machine also inspired many to go out and try to improve the washing machine. Hamilton Smith was inspired by James King, and he then patented the rotary washing machine in 1858. The rotary washing machine had a bucket to put the clothes and water in, and a wheel attached to a handle. By turning the handle, it would move the clothes around in the water in a circular motion in order to help better clean the clothes. Here's a picture of what the rotary washing machine looked like in 1858. And even though the rotary washing machine still wasn't electric, it was able to help change and improve the way that many people wash their clothes. The rotary washing machine not only inspired others to go out and try to improve washing machines, but was also a huge inspiration to modern-day washing machines. It helped influence the way that modern-day washing machines were designed and made. Without the invention of these two washing machines, modern-day washing machines wouldn't be the same, and neither would the way people wash their clothes. So, in conclusion, these inventions of the 19th century dramatically increased our quality of life, with communication, medicine, security, transportation, and household jobs. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about these inventions of the 19th century. Thank you.
to Alexander Graham Bell creating the telephone and
2010, almost 20.
see technology to communicate to people. Thing which the I don't fucking know. Colin, that has to play.
Which looks bleh.
Yes.
Renee Le... I don't know why I paused. Renee was performing in Heart and Exam...
Leading. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Idea. Leading to a minor advancements.
Okay. I was like, wait. I like totally.
2017, filled with luxury.
Okay, wait. And the washing machine.
Were you recording on